I'm Kathy. I'm from Cambridge Primary School in Hoppers Crossing in Victoria, and my colleague Tula is the assistant at the same program. So we've been there for quite a number of years. So I've been there for 17 years at the same program, and Tula's been there for 12 years. So when the program first started, we only had a 30 funded place for after school care, and we've now built it up to 120 funded places with before school care and vacation care as well. When we started the Action Research project, we really weren't sure what we were going to do it about, but we've just been through our accreditation, and we were fortunate enough to get an exceeding rating, but we thought, well, where do we go from there? It doesn't just end just because you got exceeding. So how can we keep improving our service to our families? And we looked at areas that we thought we were having a little bit of trouble in. And one of the main areas was that we were having more and more kids being picked up late. So we thought that might be an area that we need to look at and find out why, instead of just jumping to an assumption that, you know, families were running late and we had to stay back after work every night. And so it was looking into why this was happening and how we can help overcome this problem. So our current practice is to, if we have families that are late, is to hit them with a late pickup fee. But looking at past, occurrences, we found that this really destroyed the relationship that we built with families, and families were coming in all stressed and rushed and really upset at being late, and then we're hitting them with a fee, and really it's not solving their problem, it's not solving our problem, or the children, that are sitting there thinking, why haven't I been picked up? I'm still here, it's really dark outside, and they all, they start getting worried. And we just felt that it was very hard to hit a family with a late pickup fee when it was really something that, in most cases, was out of their control. A lot of the families, we've built really good, friendly relationships. Just last week we went to an Indian christening. They made us feel so welcome.
They couldn't say thank you enough.
Yeah, they didn't want us to leave, and we were in all the family photos. And then, for them, yes, they were so nice, made us feel really welcome. And then, for her to come in and be late and then we've got to hit her with a fee, I can't do that. So it just goes against our ethics and our policies, and and that relationship with that family, I feel, is then just destroyed. You've spent all this time over the years building up that relationship. So we thought we'd look into trying to find a different solution than having a fee. So we thought, we would look at how can we better meet the needs of our family. So does our operating times really cater for the families that we've got? A lot of our families are from multicultural diversity. We have many different languages. They have very high work ethics, and a lot of them do work in the city area, and so their travelling time could be up to 2 hours just to travel from the city to our centre. So we thought we might look at our operating times and see if that could elevate their stress a little bit. And so that's what we based our project around, and did all our critical reflection around that subject. So over the time, we found that there was two main factors that were causing our families to come late in picking up their children. And the first one is a little bit out of our control, but it still has an effect on our out-of-school hours care. So our infrastructure in our local community is quite horrendous at times. It takes us probably half an hour just to get out of our suburb to get onto the freeway. We've got a lot of new areas coming up, a lot of new estates, and no real roads that lead to the freeway. You have to take one road to go to the freeway and one road to come off the freeway. A lot of our farming areas are now becoming apartments, and again, there's only one road in and one road out. So families that are travelling from the city or into the city, they're dropping their kids off at 7 in the morning and coming at 7 at night to pick them up. So, and a lot of it's because of the traffic. So, Wyndham have recognised the problem, our council, and they did have a meeting that we were going to attend and were unable to because we still had families there at 7 o'clock, and that's when their meeting started. And the families were late because of the traffic, which was what the meeting was going to be about. So we couldn't make it to the meeting. The other factor is the changing dynamics of our families. We have a very multicultural area and a lot of young families, 2 working parents. You know, they have to have after school care and before school care. And when we've been researching, we found that those 2 factors were the main factors as to what was causing families arriving late. It wasn't because, you know, they wanted to do that extra hour work, or it was purely because they were getting caught in the traffic. And once you're caught on our freeway, you can't get off. You're stuck there. So that's what, we based our research around, was the traffic problem. So we started collecting data from our families, and they started to really open up to us, and you know, most of them were very apologetic about being late, and we let them know that we were doing this action research and we were collecting, you know, data, so then we could see where we could go with it to see if we can solve the problem for them. I'll just go to the next one. So when we were collecting the data, we presented it as a report to our school council. So they're our governing body. School council have been very supportive in our program, in the action research, but also in our everyday running of the program. So we thought we'd present a report to them, let them know that this was a daily occurrence. So it wasn't something that was just happening, you know, once every 2 weeks or once in a blue moon sort of thing. This was a daily occurrence. It was different families that were always late, so it wasn't the same family repeatedly, and it was always because of traffic or public transport being cancelled. And so we presented the report, and in a way we did think that they were going to just say no, like it's not feasible, you know, you can't stay open till 7. But we were quite surprised. It came back and they said that it's not a no, but they want more information. So they wanted to know what the cost was going to be, you know, which families was it the same families, you know, that were constantly being late. So we presented that report to them, and we're actually waiting now for an answer this month. So hopefully, if it does become approved to stay open later, we then have to look at areas that we need to adjust at our program. So the first area being from the program aspect, it will be, will the children need another snack? So we've got children there from 7 in the morning till 7 at night, and basically if they're especially a prep or a grade 1, you know, having a 12-hour day does take a lot out of a little prep child. So we thought maybe if we can have a meal for them, that way when mum or dad picks them up, it's basically taking them home, you know, giving them a bath and maybe putting them to bed at that time. And then we had to look at the administration aspect, and so the first one that school council were looking at was the increase in wages, and that was, we calculated that to be about $30 per day, which our service can wear quite easily. And just the software update to accommodate the extra operating hours. And then the policies, you know, do we need to look at our policies? Do we need to change our policy for the collection of children? And obviously we would, because we wouldn't impose the late pickup fee. And what would happen if children were collected after 7? So we're not quite sure in that area whether, you know, we would have a fee for after 7. I just feel that if it goes later than 7:30, then it's getting like really late for little kids, you know, to be able to cope the next day with a full day of school again, you know, starting at 7 o'clock again in the morning. And then our policies with the government and increasing our Centrelink approved hours. If school council do not approve our recommendation, then we are going to continue to advocate for the later hours, and we're going to keep recording and keep sending our report in every month with the same requests until they hear us. So, yeah, so that was ours. So if anyone's got any questions? Yes?
With the late pickup, are you going, if it all goes through and it works out for you, are you going to push that as a, like, if you are running late, we are staying open to, so that parents don't just go, oh, we're open till 7, we'll duck off to the shops and then consistently pick up at 7. You're going to aim more for just when you are running late, so you're not stressing about picking them up late, instead of that, I'll go to the shop, do my grocery shopping, pick them up.
Yeah, our parents are quite good, like they don't really take advantage of it, so we feel that they wouldn't do that. And we know the families that need it at the moment. So we cater for about over 200 families, and out of that 200, we probably have about 20 to 30 families that would need the 7 o'clock closing time. So I don't think we would really just have it just for a certain group of families. And if we, you know, if we're open till 7, we're open till 7 for everyone. Yeah. Thank you.